Welcome to botany class. Today we are going to see the food system. So in the previous classes we have discussed about the root system. Now we are going to see the food system. Actually the food system, it will be formed from the plumule. The embryonic axis, it consists of the two parts, that is a radicle and a plumule. The radicle to form the primary root, the plumule to form the shoot system. And the shoot system is have the node and the internode. It bears the leaves, buds, flower and the fruits and branches. The shoot system is mainly helped to conduct the food material from the leaves to all the part of the plant body, and also is helped to conduct the water from root to the aerial part of the plant body. Shoot system are positively phototrophic, negatively geotrophic. Okay. So we are going to see the shoot system. The plumule of the embryo of a germinating seed grow into a stem. The plumule of the embryo of germinating seed. So here you can see that. So this is a hypocotyl region and this region is a plumule. So this region is a plumule. There is a foliar leaf will be formed. The epicotyl. So here see that this is epicotyl is elongated after the embryo growth into the axis, that is a stem. The epicotyl elongated after the embryo growth into the axis, that is a stem. It bears leaf from its tips. It bears leaves from its tips, which contain the actively dividing cell of shoot is called apical meristem. In this region, that is an apical meristem, actively dividing region. The further cell division and growth result in the formation of the mass of tissues is called leaf primordium. So later this leaf primordium, it will be elongated to form the new leaf. The point from which the leaf arises is called node. The point, which point the leaf is arise. This region is called node. In between the two successive nodes, the region is called internode. In between the two successive nodes, this region is called internodal region. The region between the two adjacent nodes is called internode. Next, the characteristic features of stem. The stem is aerial, that means it grow above the soil. Green, it looks like a green. Mostly young stem is look like a green, but mature stem it not look like a green in color. Photosynthetic, and it has a node and an internode. Already we see that. It is positively phototrophic and negatively geotrophic. Already I told you, it's another characteristic features. And next, the stem bears vegetative buds. So vegetative bud, it provides the vegetative structure. It provides the branches or it provides the leaf, that is a vegetative bud for the vegetative growth of the plant. And floral buds for the reproduction or reproductive growth of the plants. Now another characteristic feature, the young stem is a green, that is general. Thus it carried out the photosynthesis. During the reproductive growth, the stem bears flower and the fruits. When the reproductive growth is occurred, the flower is occurred. During the reproductive growth, the flower formation, it will indicate the stem undergo the reproductive growth. Okay, so after the fertilization, the fruit is formed. So during the reproductive growth, the stem have the flower and the fruits. The branches are exogenous. It will be formed from the outer surface, all the branches. So some stem is bears a multicellular hairs of the different kind. So it will be some stem which is do not have the hairs, some stem is have the hair-like structure. So these are mostly for multicellular hair-like structure. So that's all about the characteristic features of stem. Next we are going to see the function of stem. Like in root, The stem function also, it will be broadly classified into two, primary function and the secondary function. So first we see the primary function. It provides a support and it bears the leaves, flower and the fruits. It provides a support and also it will be bear the leaves, flower and the fruit. It transports the water and mineral nutrient to other part from the root. Already I told you, no? So it will help to. It is a junction point. It will be distributed. The water is coming from the root, absorbed by the root, and also it will be supplied the food material. It will prepare the aerial part, but root also is required energy. For the energy, is need the food material. So the leaf prepare the food material. This food material it will be distributed to the root by the stem. Okay. And it transport the food is prepared the leaf to the other part of the plant body, especially for the root. So that is a main function. Let's go to the secondary function of the stem. There are different. So the first one is storage. So some stem it will be modified in the structure. As a result, it will be do the storage. It acts as a storage organ. It store the food material. Example: Solanum tuberosum, Colocasia, Gingiber officinalis. Solanum tuberosum, Colocasia, Gingiber officinalis. So that is a Gingiber officinalis. Okay, so here it is also the mean for the vegetative propagation. The stem it will be stored the food pyramid, that is a mean for vegetative propagation. So these all act as a vegetative propagating agent. So the another secondary function, that is a perenniation or reproduction. The same, already I told you. The storage is all consists the perenniation or reproduction. Example: Gingiber officinalis, Curcuma laga, and the water storage. Example: Opuntia, especially for xerophatic plant. The stem are modified, flattened structure, look like a leaf, but it's not a leaf. It is a modified stem, and it performs the photosynthesis. But the photosynthesis performance is not a function of the stem; it is a function of leaf. But in xerophatic plant, the stem are modified to flattened structure, and it will be similar to the function of the leaf, and it will prepare the food material. The another secondary function, that is a buoyancy, Neptunium. It helps to floating on the plants on the surface of the water, and the photosynthesis, Opuntia, Ruscus and Euphorbia. Both are similar, but here it is a succulent. It stores the more amount of water, and the same plant it does the photosynthesis. Opuntia, Ruscus and Euphorbia. Opuntia, Ruscus and Euphorbia. Another secondary function, that is a protection. It gives the protect from the enemies. Citrus, Bougainvillea, Acacia. The citrus, the thorn-like structure, and Bougainvillea, the thorn-like structure is present. In Acacia also, the thorn-like structure. And support, Passiflora, Vitis, Cissus quadricularis. Vitis, there is a grapes. Cissus quadricularis, there is a parentine. Okay, so they have formed a coiled structure. They help to bind the support plant. As a result, it will grow on the surface of the supporting plant or host plant. So that's all about the function of stem is for primary function and the secondary function. Next, we are going to see the parts. What are the parts is present in the stem region? So already we know that they have the buds. There are two types of the buds: vegetative buds and the reproductive buds. Okay, so now we are going to see what is the buds. So buds are growing point. It's surrounded by a protective scale leaves. So that is the bud scale. Okay, so the buds are growing point. It will be surrounded by a protective scale leaves. The bud primordium is matured into buds. The bud primordium it later mature into the bud-like structure. They have the compressed axis in which the internode are not elongated and the young leaves are close underground. The internode is not elongated, it will be compressed form. It present inside the buds. And also the leaves, the foliage leaf, it will be compressed and it will form the ground-like structure. When this bud it develops, the internode or elongated and the leaf will be spread out. Okay, leaf will be spread out. The bud have the architecture the identical to the original shoot-like structure. It is a architecture identical to the original shoot-like structure. It develop into the lateral branches or may be terminate. So the bud may be developed in the lateral branch or it may be in the terminal position. And later it will be developed into flower or inflorescence. So it develop into lateral branches or may terminate by developing into the flower or inflorescence. It will be end. When the flower is formed, that is the end of the growth. The collection of flower is called inflorescence. Okay. Next, the types of bud. So based on the origin and the function, the buds are classified into different types. Based on the origin, terminal or apical bud, lateral or axillary or axial bud. Based on the function, it is a vegetative bud and a floral or reproductive bud. Already I told you, no? So, the terminal or apical bud. So, when the terminal bud is formed, there is no further growth, the growth will be arrested. And lateral bud, it will be gives rise to the new branches. Okay, so that is a lateral bud. So, here vegetative buds, it only produce a leaf and a stem or branches. But floral or reproductive bud is produce a flower. So, based on the origin and the function. So, first one, terminal buds or apical bud. Terminal, the name itself has a meaning. It will be formed on the tip of the shoot or stem. So, they are present at the apex of the main stem or in the tip of the branches. Maybe main stem or the tip of the branches. That is a terminal bud. It will be present in the tip region. Lateral or axillary bud. It will be born in between the stem and the leaf axis. So the bud occurs in the axis of the leaves and develop into branches or flower. It may be later develop into a new branch or it may be developed into flower. So another type, that is extra axillary bud. So it's not born on the axis of the stem and the leaf. Instead of that, it will be formed away from the axis. So the bud are formed at the node, but outside the axil of the leaf. It will form on the node, but outside the axil of the leaf. That is very important. Away from the axis. Solanum americanum, extra axillary bud. Accessory bud. So extra bud on the either side or above the axillary bud. Either side or above the axillary bud. So it's an axillary bud. So above the axillary bud, the accessory bud is formed. Example citrus and diorata. Next, adventitious bud. So adventitious means that is not a region or it's not a primary region for the formation of bud. So it will form other than either the tip region or the axis. So that is adventitious. The bud arising at any point other than the stem. Any part other than the stem are known as adventitious bud. Function as a propagation. So what is the meaning? This bud functions as a propagule. It germinates to form a new plant body. From the bud, it will be form a new plant body, which are produced on the stem as a tuberous structure. It produced on the stem as a tuberous structure. Example, Discora and Arcade. So the adventitious bud is further divided into different types. That is a radical bud. First one. So radical, the name itself having meaning. The bud it will be formed in the root region. So this bud is arrived from the lateral root, and later it will be developed into new plant body. Example: Mignonia, Bergera, Koji, Coffea arabica, Agile marmalus. Foliar bud, the name itself has the meaning. It will be formed in the leaf region. So, example, Bryophyllum and Begnonia. So, the bud is grow on the leaf from the vein or from the margin of the leaf. So here, a new plant body. The bud will develop into a new plant body. Colin bud. So colin means it will be directly born on the stem region. They arise directly from the stem, either from the cut or pruned end. Pruned end means, so in the gardening, they give the shape for the particular plant. So for that, they will cut the plant for giving the particular shape. So in the cut region, that is a pruned plant. When the plant will be cut, that is called pruned plant. And end or from the branches. That is a colin. Colin means it is directly formed from the stem, either in the cut region or pruned end or from the branches. So that's all about the buds. There are different types: radical, foliar, colin bud, like that. Next, we are going to see the bulbils or a specialized bud. It's another type, mainly meant for propagation. Mainly meant for propagation. The bulbils are modified and enlarged bud is meant for propagation, reproduction, vegetative propagation. When the bulbil detaches from the parental body or it will fall on the ground, it will germinate to form a new plant. And it is act as a mean for vegetative propagation. Example, Acave and Allium proliferum. Okay. So this is specialized enlarged. It's a modified and enlarged bud. It's meant for propagation. When it is detached from the parental body, when it is fall on the ground, it will germinate to form a new plant body. It is a mean for vegetative propagation. That is a bulbils. Next, types of stem. Majority of the angiosperm possess upright. Upright means aerial. Upright, vertically grow erect stem. So they may be classified into different types. That is excurrent, decurrent, cadex, and gloom. Excurrent, decurrent, cadex, and gloom. So what is the excurrent? So again, the main axis to the continuous growth, main axis, main stem, and the lateral branch gradually become shorter toward the apex. So here it is a long branches. Above that, when compared to the downside, it is a very short. And near the tip, the branches length will be gradually decreased. And it looks like a cone extension. Example, polyaltium. Conical appearance. That is a excurrent. The main stem is continuously grown. The lateral branch is gradually decreasing in size from the base to apex. And it looks like a conical shape. Example, polyaltium. Decurrent. The growth of the lateral branch is more vigorous than the main axis. And as a result, it looks like what? More or less rounded or spreading appearance. Rounded or spreading appearance. Example, Mangifera indica, mango. Next, calyx. It is an unbranched, short cylindrical stem. Unbranched, short cylindrical stem, which marked with the scar on the fallen leaf. So here, the scar. So here the scar region. Example, Cocos nucifera, coconut plant. Cocos nucifera. Next, gloom. The extra stem, it's an erect stem with a distinct node and usually hollow internode. Actually, it is a node region is fully blocked, but internode region is a hollow. That means empty. Okay, so hollow internode is collapsed by the leaf sheath. Example, majority of the grasses, including the bamboo. That is a gloom. Thank you, student. So that's all about the shoot system, characteristic features of stem, and function of the stem. So about the primary function and the secondary function. So we can see the what is the buds, different type of the buds and bulbils, and finally we are discussing the types of stem. So that's all about the shoot system. In next class we are going to see the modification of shoot system. Thank you, student.